mental composition a couple of minutes ago, because some words popped up in the mind. These words were classes and levels. 2 words. And the first thing that came in the mind as an explanation was that there is a wide range and variety of the usage of these 2 words. So I wanted to write it down to get a simple idea of what would it mean, and I looked at this matter very objectively. So here we go. Classes and levels. Classes and levels are concepts that are very understandable. A class is the place of students going to take lectures and exams. A class is the place of speakers, listeners, and viewers, which is not different from what happens outside of a class at all. There in the streets you have speakers, listeners, and viewers. But what makes the class feel like a separate, different place, although it's the same movements happening? Well, it is a matter of perception, forced by the formality of taking a class. Because school is no different than house. I mean, there are more similarities than differences. Same things happen. But our sensory perceptions have been conditioned through school books and teachers to spot differences between the house and the school, when in reality the only difference is in coordinates, latitude and longitude. And after years and years, or maybe since the first day of school, kids are taught in the most subtle of ways that school makes you worthwhile, and if you don't have it, you're not worthwhile. Now levels is the other word. In each classes he or she has ever conducted, a teacher notices the difference in the level of observation by the kids of the lecture. Not only in class does this happen, it also happens outside. But sincerely, the class is probably a little more important of a venue than any other venues, because it is a group, 10, 20, 30 students reading and learning and listening to the same thing at a time, different classes at the time. They're together learning and applying. But there's a difference. The levels of perceiving and making the information ready for applying is different, and probably always will be. Now here's the thing. How do we get a quality of levels of genuine perception? Which means, can we let or can we interact with the lecture according to the genuine perception and have participants or participate in a genuine way? Because some kids are talented in math, some kids are talented in arts, but if in an art class the math kid wouldn't act his own genuine way, he would be told by the teacher, I don't know, all kinds of stop, don't do this, this is not a math class. Whereas if he would act a genuine way, according to his own talent, of math, then the class would be very different. It is a big thing for it to happen, but I don't see why that is not possible. If someone should inevitably ask, how do we get started? I would say, just get started with the things kids know from the first day of school, which are their sensory perceptions organs. Now kids don't know about this in detail, and they have to go a long way into school before starting to understand these organs of perceptions and apply this knowledge. But they have scratched the surface already. They know about smelling, touching, hearing, seeing, tasting. They do, because at that age, until 7, all they do is experiment for the whole time. All they do is experiment. Whereas when they go to school, it's somehow conditioned until the point when they reach high school that they don't experiment anymore. Or rather, shift in a direction where they experiment in order to get something out of it, not for the beauty of it. Yet, when going to school, there's no teacher to teach the mastering of perceptions. All the way to middle school, that doesn't happen, the teaching of mastery. This will lead for other factors to determine the growth of a child and the mastery of his own mind. You know those other factors: money, possessions, looks. These factors cover a whole range of tools kids use for mastery. You know, computers, books as well, toys as well, and so on. To recap all this, how is it relevant in our everyday relationship with everybody in our lives? Before we make definitions using words smart, dumb, highly educated, poorly educated, remember that we weren't taught mastery of our physical responses. Yes, we weren't taught mastery, but either way, a kid knows about this instinctively. He doesn't learn about this when going to school, which he spends most hours of the day, and that's the problem, because if you want to spend, if you're going to spend 8 hours a day on a place, you want to be doing the best thing you can do and apply the best things you can learn about the place you are in. But it would be like telling teachers would say, you want us to teach physics and biology to kids at the first day of school? Yes, but not the way we've learned it. You know, you should tell kids about sensory perceptions and physical response. Talking is a physical response. Thinking is a physical response. You think, I think. You talk, I talk. Or you talk, I listen. Then I talk, you listen. Kids aren't taught about the ethics of it, which is mastery in essence. Thank you, dear viewers. Thank you whoever watched this until the end, and whoever who didn't, thanks anyway.